Okay? So we're now going to kick off with our first contestant in the Pitch Club. And that's going to be, I think, Greg from Introu. You.
Hey, guys. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here at Miami. I'm super excited to be here. So my name's Greg. I'm the co-founder and the co-CEO of Introu. I'm a 26-year-old entrepreneur based out of London. So today, I'm specifically going to speak to you about freelancer marketplaces or modern talent networks. So here we've got some major players in the market. Now, a lot of startups hate talking about their competition, but we embrace it. We love it. So I'm going to speak to you about three players. We've got Fiverr, freelancer.com, and Upwork. They're billion-dollar companies with billions of users over the world. However, Simon said earlier that no company is obsolete. And yes, a change is needed. So the reason they're so big is because of the freelance market. Now, there are over 1.2 billion people worldwide who freelance in some capacity. That's huge and a massive opportunity for us to tap into. So the problem with these marketplaces is that they suck. Freelancers hate them. They're disgruntled. I've got some testimonials here from various different freelancers. Freelancer.com is just a money-sucking machine. We really need an alternative to Fiverr. That's because freelancers get ripped off with hefty commissions and never have a great job satisfaction. Conversely, regarding businesses, it's also a mess. It's an inconvenience to scour the whole of the internet to find the right freelancer to work with. It's inefficient. They're working with thousands of recruiters who rip them off, who charge them lots and lots of money in commissions and fees to find the right person to work with. And there's also just a huge lack of transparency. The whole process is broken, and something needs to change. Now, what we've seen over the last few months are other companies who have taken the power into their own hands and decided to create their own freelancer marketplace, their own networks. An example here is Viard. Viard is one of the USA's biggest co-working space. So if you've co-worked in New York, Washington, or Philadelphia, you would know of them. They've created their own freelancer marketplace. Another example is a huge real estate sector in England called Worklife. They've also got their own marketplace. And another example here, which is slightly more interesting, is a British-American tobacco company. Their whole process of recruiting and hiring freelancers was completely broken, inefficient, and they were wasting a lot of money. They've decided to create their own freelancer marketplace as an internal resource to outsource people whenever they want. Now, I'm going to let you into a little secret. These companies, like the British-American Tobacco Company, Viard and Worklife, and many more, don't go ahead and build their own technology. They don't spend their resources, time, and money to recruit their own modern talent network of various different freelancers from many, many different industries. They actually use our technology. They use Introu technology. They use our software as an internal resource to book, find, and pay for a freelancer on demand whenever they like. So, what do we actually do? Pretty simple. Introu is a talent marketplace that plugs into any business or service provider to facilitate their outsourcing requirements via white-labeled technology. So, here are some solutions we've created for our partners. Integrated tech, lower rates, on-demand talents, and bespoke solutions. A lot of investors look at startups in various different ways. Maybe it's the founder, maybe it's the idea, but they want to see traction. We're a new company. We only launched in May 2021. We now have over 15,000 users in a matter of a month registered on our books. We have 30+ businesses and have generated hundreds of thousands of transactions via our platform. So how do we make money? It's pretty simple. We have a subscription fee between £30 to £600 a month for companies and partners to utilize our software. And we also take a 10% flat commission on every single transaction which occurs via our platform. So today, we are looking to raise £700,000 in order to grow our business. In the next 12 months, we would like to expand our user base, improve our technology, expand our team of software engineers, and break even by May 2023. So here's our team. Myself and James, we've been best friends for the best part of 20 years, have built businesses together, have sold the business together. We've got Max, our COO, and Paul, who's our CTO in residence. So I'm going to leave you with some food for thought. Actually, do you know what? We're not far away from integrating with these companies, PwC, Wix, and Adobe. Imagine a simple plugin where these major corporations can tap into, find thousands of freelancers on demand wherever they want. That's disruption. That's changing the market. These other companies are not obsolete. Something needs to change here, much like the real estate market we've been talking about, and much like the automobile market. Now, one more food for thought. Amazon, the biggest company in the world, they're on a mission to integrate Amazon Prime by way of an API into every single e-commerce website on the market. We can do the same. We can integrate our software, our technology, into every single business on the market, whether a service provider or a large FTSE, for them to hire, book, and pay freelancers on demand using our tech and our network. Thank you.
And with 4 seconds to spare.
I know.
Yeah, perfect timing. Well done.
Ben, there's a mic for that. Gonzalo, do you want to provide some feedback first?
Yeah. First of all, thank you and great presentation. I like what you're doing. I have a question about when you're talking about user base. If it's a white label software and it's when a user registers, does it register to introu? Does it or registers to the company?
It's a great question. It's actually the first question which people quite often ask. So,
I'm not that smart.
but yeah, front-facing. So when a freelance user joins our platform, the only thing they see is our brand, introu. They don't see anything else. Because brand recognition is important. We want people to come to our platform, to come to our business, and use it as much as possible. In regards to the businesses using the platform, they see their own brand. So every business or partner which utilize our software or technology will have their own version of a white-labeled freelancer marketplace.
So those users or those freelance are not, they're only for that brand. So
the freelancers only see introu,
yeah.
and the businesses and the partners who subscribe to our software and use our software, we completely white label our software to their brand. So for example, if the Global Online Marketplace Summit needed a freelancer marketplace, it will look exactly like this branding here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you mentioned the incumbents. The big issue with them was the pricing policy. And then you mentioned that you charge a subscription fee, I think, monthly usage fee for the corporate.
Yes.
You also mentioned a 10% transaction fee. Who pays that? Is that the corporate or the...
So the business who subscribe to our software. So let's take the British American Tobacco Company as an example. So they're one of the biggest companies in the world with 44,000 employees. And as I mentioned in my pitch earlier on, their whole hiring process is broken in regards to hiring talent on demand, freelancers. So British American Tobacco Company would pay us a monthly subscription fee in order to use our software. As well as that, on every transaction, they'll pay us a 10% flat fee. And that actually saves them a lot of money, north of 50%, because what they use traditionally are recruiters and headhunters on a more manual basis. They don't have an automation process like we can provide them. So we save them money. Yes, they pay us a 10% flat fee, but we save them money and we save them time.
Thanks.
Okay, just a couple of observations and then
Sure.
and perhaps a question. One is I would get to what you do faster, right? I think I was watching the clock. It was like 2 minutes in, and then this is what we do.
Understood.
Right? So I think good articulation. I think good presentation, very slick. So you clearly practiced. But get to what you do faster would be the first point. Second is I don't quite understand the size of the market, right? So exactly what's I know there's the freelancer market, but this is not the complete freelancer market. It's the freelancer market accessed via this channel, right? So I don't really know how much that is. I would probably articulate the model a bit clearer. So it's a subscription plus, is it a percentage of the upside of the volume of transactions? Or?
Yeah, so as I said, it's a subscription between £30 to £600 a month, depending on the corporate we work with, where this is stable recurring revenue month on month. And on any transaction which happens on the platform, it's a flat 10% fee.
Right. So what I would have done is, we know there are 10,000 corporates within the United Kingdom where we're currently operating that, there I can do the maths. 10,000 times somewhere between, I don't know, call it £300. I've now got some numbers in my head per month. Now I'm starting to get a feel for the size of the business. I think that's something that I would probably articulate. And then the other thing that I would probably do a bit more is, when talking about what you've achieved to date, you talked about the people you're working with, which is fantastic, but how does that then translate into revenue growth or transaction growth? Or, there's got to be some KPIs which you hopefully see a chart that is bottom left to top right, Showing strong growth.
Getting there, yes. But yes, right. Absolutely. Can I clarify on the market size very quickly? Yep. Going back to that point. So obviously the freelancer marketplace, the freelancer market is growing year on year. And as I said earlier on, 1.2 billion users globally, they freelance in some capacity. So it is a really big market to tap into. And that trend is not going to decrease. It's only going to increase with the new generation Z. I'm on the fringe of Gen Z and millennial, by the way, coming into the market. Now, on the back of that, businesses globally, especially in countries like America and mainland Europe and UK, they need to adapt to that market. Speaking to some of the corporates we work with, hiring and headhunting people on the traditional basis, on a yearly basis, or on a full-time contract doesn't quite work anymore, and they're struggling to outsource. And so a lot of them are resulting into having to use freelancers, not necessarily out of the choice, but out of necessity. And conversely, it helps them reduce liabilities in-house. Take the real estate industry, the office industry at the moment. FTSEs are not taking 10-year leases anymore. They want flexibility. The market is changing, and that change comes with flexibility, and it's the same thing for hiring processes. Flexibility is key. Businesses have no choice. They have to outsource freelancers.
Greg, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.